Continues to push out toward the north-northeast at a good clip. A broader view of the Doppler radar showing more showers and storms aligned with a very strong cold front. Behind it, temperatures drop into the 50s, and that cold front is moving our way. So more rain, at least in the first part of that 7-day. You see at least the rain chance is holding at around 40% with temperatures into the 70s. So get ready for more rain. And of course, the time now is 10 p.m. Local 33 News starts right now.
Coming up today was Fire Park's annual fall open house. We'll tell you all about that in just a few. And today was also the 4th annual Code Red Chili Cook-Off. We'll tell you what went on for the event as well. And 1,400 inmates are set to be released from prison on November 1st. We'll hear arguments from state prosecutors and prisoner officials about this criminal justice measure.
Live and Baton Rouge proud. You're watching Local 33 News at 10.
Good evening. I'm Tisia Muzinga. Thank you for joining us here on Local 33 News at 10. Well, this morning, people of all ages enjoyed a fun day at Fire Park's annual open house. They got to enjoy free activities, including a petting zoo, concessions, games, and lots more.
It's definitely not one of the more popular sports, but it's unique, which I love, and it gives people the opportunity to just be different and try new things.
I'm planning on getting into horse riding myself, and for these kids just to have something else to do, like when it's not football season, when it's not baseball season, when it's not basketball season, to come out here and ride horses, and that's just something else, something positive that kids can do for their free time.
Today's event was free and open to all ages. But that's not the only event that happened today. Today was also the 4th annual Code Red Chili Cook-Off. It only cost just $10 to taste some sample chili and salsa made by local cooks.
I think it's you got to have that uniqueness. I think it's the blends of herbs and spices that we use that's going to separate us from the rest of the competition. This ain't McCormick chili.
One thing I want people to get out today is it's something that we do to raise money for the hospital, but it's something we do for the community, for families to come out and really be able just to have fun.
There were 4 competition categories for cash prizes, and of course, the cook-off was open to amateurs, professionals of all ages. Well, in less than 2 weeks, the state's criminal justice reform package becomes a law. However, critics have some concerns. Local 33's Harrison Golden has the latest on the running debate.
We need to find a better way to do things, and that's what this is all about.
State Corrections Secretary Jimmy LeBlanc referencing the Justice Reinvestment Act, which will free some 1,400 inmates November 1st.
His priors, narcotics.
But District Attorney Ricky Babin wonders how many will be back in prison again.
There'll be some that reoffend. It's just those victims going to have to deal with it, and the community's going to have to deal with it if they do reoffend.
He represents Ascension, Assumption, and St. James parishes. Among the 24 inmates going free November 1st in his district, Joshua Weatherspoon, arrested in 2004 for second-degree murder, but struck a plea deal and got a 30-year sentence for conspiracy to commit murder, a nonviolent offense.
Call it what you want, but that person who participated in the murder of another human being is getting out after 10 years in prison and will be walking the streets among us.
East Baton Rouge District Attorney Hiller Moore says nationally more than half of inmates freed return to prison within 5 years of release. But LeBlanc contends that none of the inmates going free on the 1st, including Weatherspoon, have been presently serving for violent convictions.
I mean, can I hold him guilty of a violent offense that he wasn't convicted of? I mean, you know, that's the bottom line.
And he says these new releases will have the close eye of state parole officers.
That risk assessment will look at prior arrests, maybe anything that they've been arrested for that they weren't convicted for. All that plays a role in their level of supervision when they get out.
Louisiana's been typically releasing about 1,500 inmates a month. While November could see nearly double that, the following months will see considerably lower numbers. Starting December, between 30 and 50 additional prisoners will be released, most of whom already close to their release date. For your local election headquarters, I'm Harrison Golden.
Coming up, as fallen soldiers laid to rest, the fallout from behind Trump's condolences to the widow continues to rage on through social media. And weather?
Let's now look at that car wash forecast. Here we go. Nothing but red lights as we move into your Sunday. So, Tisia, you won't get to wash my car tomorrow. Here we go. With the regional travel forecast, 80% rain chances in the Shreveport, high of 74, and rainfall into New Orleans. Meanwhile, cold front on the horizon. We'll have the details coming up and weather.
You're watching Local 33 News at 10 with Amber Smith, Mark Stitz with your Storm Tracker team forecast, and Morgan Beard with Go Nation. You're watching Local 33 News at 10 with Lauren McCoy, Mark Stitz with your Storm Tracker team forecast, and Morgan Beard with Go Nation.
Welcome back. It's been a busy week at the White House. The president continues his feud with a Florida congresswoman after she criticized the president's handling of a condolence call with the family of a soldier who was killed in an attack in Niger earlier this month. Sarah DeLoff has the story.
A solemn goodbye in Florida Saturday to Army Sergeant LaDavid Johnson, killed alongside 3 comrades during an ambush in Africa. His death sparking an ongoing feud between President Donald Trump and Florida Congresswoman Frederica Wilson, who accused the president of telling Sergeant Johnson's widow her husband knew what he was getting into during a condolence call and not appearing to know Johnson's name. Trump denied the allegations.
I was very surprised to see this, to be honest with you.
And in an interview set to air Sunday, defended himself and Chief of Staff John Kelly.
He was so offended because he was in the room when I made the call.
Kelly, whose son Robert was killed in Afghanistan, also publicly entered the fray, accusing the congresswoman of self-promotion at an FBI building dedication in 2015. But video from that day showed she spoke of getting rushed approval to name the building after fallen FBI agents. The fight continuing to spill into the weekend with the president on Twitter. At the funeral for Sergeant Johnson, there was no mention of the political headlines generated in the aftermath of his death. Just remembrances of a young soldier, husband, and father gone too soon. Sarah Dolph, NBC News.
All right, Kevin Smith, who is a little under the weather, is going to tell us the weather forecast. You see what I did there?
There you go. That's pretty good.
Hey, that wasn't bad, right?
Speaking of things good, let's take a look at the almanac for today. A high of 86 after a low of 69. And yes, we saw some rainfall, 300s at the airport. Meanwhile, here comes the rain again. That's my arithmetic for tonight. I have the details coming up in about 2 minutes and some change.
Now, your Storm Tracker team forecast with Kevin Smith.
Hey, good evening, everyone. Let's begin on Doppler 1. We have a flash flood watch in effect for the western areas until 7 a.m. because of these thunderstorms have been training, therefore moving over the same area at least for the last hour or so. And this activity is still slowly pushing off toward the north-northeast at 5 to 15 miles per hour. Numerous cloud-to-ground lightning strikes with this activity. So rain chances will continue as we travel into your Sunday with that powerful cold front moving our way. And it looks like fall temperatures returning, actually a web of temperatures moving our way at least for the next few days. We'll see the 70s by Monday and Tuesday, and can you believe by Wednesday temperatures highs into the upper 60s. Get ready for that. Meanwhile, currently at BTR, we're at 76 degrees. Look at those winds from the east. Those are some outflow winds from those thunderstorms from the 20 miles per hour at the dew point, currently at 73. And the temperatures out the door, everyone, in the 60s and 70s. We're 77 Hammond, 74 in Kentwood, and 70 degrees rain-cooled air over toward Kentwood. Here we go with the tropical update. Nothing but some good news there. We're out dealing with the disturbance in the western Caribbean right now. We're not expecting any development for the next 2 to 5 days. Now, take a look at what's happening nationally on the water vapor. Notice the showers and storms that are firing up, and all this gray you see is nothing but moist air across our area, therefore showers and thunderstorms right along that cold front that's quickly moving our way, and indeed temperatures behind it drop off rather drastically. You see it's 36 degrees in Denver and 43 behind that front into Billings, Montana. So here's what we're expecting, at least on the futurecast. Shower and thunderstorm chances will continue overnight at around 40%. That will start to increase to around 80 to 90% around 1 to 3, so expect that. And then this activity will quickly start to push off toward the east, giving nothing but sunshine as we move towards your Monday afternoon and evening. Now, the Storm Prediction Center has us in that dark green. That's a marginal risk for severe weather tomorrow. The potential for some heavy rainfall, gusty winds, and even some small hail. Of course, the storm team will be on standby for that. And the precipitation amount still over an inch possible as we push towards Sunday, so be aware of that, at around 9100s into Ascension Parish. So here's the forecast this evening. Right around 70 degrees, rain chances overnight at around 40 to 50%, 90% rain chances for your Sunday, with high temperatures into the upper 70s and to the lower 80s. So that's 7-day forecast. Here we go. We'll see the rain chances, of course, tomorrow at 90%, and then some residual showers on Monday, but really nothing but some sunshine. Highs into the 70s. Reinforcing shot of some cooler air arrives on Wednesday with high temperatures into the upper 60s, and then we'll continue to see the temperatures warming back up to around 81 on Friday with another front that will knock our temperatures back into the 60s by next Saturday. So my weather outlook for tomorrow: wonk, wonk, a thumbs down with a 90% chance of rain. We're going to call Sunday good sleeping day. There you go.
Womp, womp, womp.
Yeah.
Rain, rain, rain. Go away. Right?
Now come again some other day, like maybe next week. There you go.
All right, thank you, sir. Ashley
welcome.
Lyotis will be here with a preview of sports. Stay with us, everyone. We'll take a break.
And now, Go Nation with Ashley Pyotis.
Have a night, Darius Geis. We'll get to his record-breaking night in just a second. LSU taking on Ole Miss, trying to earn Coach O some respect back in Oxford. Can they get it done? First quarter, Connor Culp going to score first for LSU with a 35-yard field goal. LSU goes up 3-0. But Ole Miss answers with their own field goal, tied at 3. And then this. Darius Geis, what we have been waiting for. Thank you very much. Geis with a 59-yard run, which will, pretty much set him up for success for the remainder of the night. He's going to take this next one, too. 7 yards for the touchdown. There is the Darius Geis we all know and love. 10-3, LSU up. Second quarter. 5:45 left. Shea Patterson going to look downfield here, but who's he going to find? Grant Delpit. Thank you very much. Showing up for the defense in a big way tonight. He'll pick off Patterson to get the ball back for the Tigers. Third quarter here, Danny Etling with his first rushing touchdown of the season. Tigers go up 23-9. It's not until the third quarter that Ole Miss decides to, finally score a touchdown. Jordan Wilkins with a 28-yard rush to score. 23-16, but the Tigers still up. Late in the third quarter, Danny Etling going to fake the handoff here. Kind of got me, Who has it but J.D. Moore? Beautiful shovel pass there, 30-16, a few more after that. And that will do it for your Tigers, beating the Ole Miss Rebels 40-24. Our Brian Holland is live in Oxford. Brian, we finally saw what we've been craving all season out of Darius Geis, running angry, rushing for 276 yards, averaging 12.5 yards per carry. What did you see out there tonight?
Well, I love the offense, but LSU Tiger fans, they knew how much this actually meant to Coach O. He didn't want to talk about it. I just talked to Foster Moreau, though, there outside the locker room. He said, look, we didn't put anything else extra out there, but if this is a gift to Coach O, after all he's given us, then let it be a gift to Coach O. And I actually stood over here on the sideline talking to a fellow sports director, actually from the Jackson, Mississippi area. He turned to me, he goes, boy, this defensive backfield is special, and I have to agree with him. 3 interceptions on the night. The halftime line, by the way, on Ole Miss's starting quarterback, Shea Patterson, I believe it was 33 yards passing. For the whole game is 194. Defensive backs University certainly showed up in a huge way against the best passing attack in the Southeastern Conference. Look, we highlighted this matchup all week long, and LSU stepped up. Here's what Coach O had to say about those defensive backs after the game.
Tremendous job. I mean, I was so proud of those guys. I think Corey did a tremendous job. He challenged this week, although they made some plays. It was surprising to me that the tight end got open like he did. But I thought our corners played excellent tonight. We was in man coverage about 80% of the time, and those guys did a tremendous job.
Amazing that they were in man coverage and they did this well. Really speaks to the talent, the depth on this roster of these defensive backs, and going up against what you would consider the best wide receivers in the Southeastern Conference. One final thing that caught my ear in Coach O's post-game press conference, he said, look, I thought that this team was tired about Tuesday or Wednesday. This bye week and this break couldn't come at a better time, and then you know exactly what's right around the corner after that, right, Ashley? Alabama against LSU, so a lot to look forward to here in the coming weeks. Here live for your Go Nation in Oxford, Mississippi, I'm Brian Holland.
All right, thanks, Brian. Yeah, the good news there, they get 2 full weeks to prepare for Alabama, which will definitely work in their favor. The Southern Jags also in Mississippi tonight, taking on Jackson State. This one off to kind of an odd start. The original game time was 6 p.m., but after a lightning delay, it caused some power outages. It actually started around 7:30. The delay, though, didn't affect the hype of this one. The first drive of the game, Jackson State quarterback Terrell Kennedy buying some time, wheeling and dealing, going to find Jordan Williams for the 11-yard touchdown. JSU up 7-0. But the Jags will march right back down the field, and the heart and soul of this team, quarterback Austin Howard, going to score on the quarterback keeper and dives into the end zone here. But Howard going to come up limping and walking off a little gingerly after this one. And then Lampley came in for him, and Danny Johnson for the 5-yard run. 14-10 Jags at this point. The final of this one, this one still going on since that late start. A look at the score here, 36-17 Jags in the fourth quarter. So we're going to have more highlights of that one tomorrow night, but kind of an odd lightning delay there. It set the game back like an hour and a half, so that one's still going on.
I have to say about this LSU game, though, didn't Coach used to play?
He did, yeah. For 3 years, he was the head coach over at Ole Miss, so a little respect, I think, gained in Oxford tonight for him.
All righty. Thank you, girl. We'll be right back. All right, before we wrap things up real quick, we are going to take one final look at the forecast. Sir, what do you got for us?
All right, I got nothing but rain. Let's take a look at what's happening on Doppler radar. Most of those showers are now pushing from the south to the north-northeast at 5 to 15 miles per hour. So indeed, you see all the lightning strikes there, and this activity will continue at least for the next couple of hours. Now for tomorrow, you see that dark green, the majority of the area under marginal risk for severe weather, the potential for some heavy rainfall, gusty winds in excess of 40 to 50 miles per hour, and even some small hail. And here we go with that 7-day forecast, and we have it highlighted in purple. Go LSU with that win today. Yes. There you go. 90% rain chances for your Sunday. High temperatures in the upper 70s or lower 80s. And then behind that front, you see those readings into the 70s, even the upper 60s as we push toward Wednesday. Overnight lows will drop into the 40s. We're liking that. And then we're up to 81 with a 30% rain chances on Friday with another front arriving next Saturday. High temperatures back into the upper 60s. And believe me, by next Sunday, we can even see some low temperatures into the 30s once again. So
I'll take the 40s,
weather. You take
not
the 40s?
The rain.
Is this even like fall? I mean, this is normal for the South,
yeah,
right?
this is normal for the South.
Normal for this time of year.
Yeah.
I'm not used to this because in Wisconsin, like it's way Wisconsin. Yeah, that actually came out.
I know, I'm a northern girl too.
Right.
It's snowing sometimes.
Right. And now it's hot.
Well, you can take Wisconsin. We'll just take this nice weather.
All right. Well, all right. Thank you. We are going off. All right. We'll be back tomorrow at 6.